Here is Danny, cyclocross race. I'm just after pretty interesting, amazing cyclocross race. The track was so much fun. And I want to talk with you about the new Merida Mission CX bike. As you may know, Merida already had cyclocross bikes for years, and their cyclocross model was called Merida Cyclocross. Now we've got Mission CX, both in carbon and alloy. This is the alloy bike on SRAM Apex, which is very interesting. I'm gonna tell you a lot about SRAM Apex here. And here are my impressions about the bike. First off, I don't fully understand cyclocross bikes, because on many cyclocross tracks I feel like mountain bike will be faster, will be quicker, but this is tradition. This is something you don't wanna argue with. Cyclocross is cyclocross. It's there to stay, and Merida made the new model even more racy. So we've got the aluminum frame, very nice carbon, pretty light fork, and we've got one by Drivetrain. Carbon seat post makes for more comfort, and overall geometry of this bike is pretty good for racing. The thing that I like more on the Shimano is the shifters, especially because of those hydraulic ones. So these are like pretty bulky. Shimano, I feel like, is a little bit more comfortable. But as for the shifting system itself, this is the double tap. This is very interesting when it comes to riding in such gloves and when it's cold. Why? Because double tap means that there is a larger lever than on the Shimano. You don't use the braking lever, you use only this one. So of course for the Shimano it will be easier to tap to shift with the big one, but then you have to find the small one. If it's cold, if you're warming up, especially such a winter gloves, this double tap system works very good. How it works? A little click, the first one, that's shifting down the cassette. So that's it, 1, 2, because it works like this, 1, 2, okay? Then if you want to go up the cassette, you just go further. This is going up the cassette, down the cassette, up the cassette, and you can shift up to 3 with one push. This is working very well. You need to kind of get used to it, but it takes little time for you to do it. On the road bikes, I still prefer Shimano. That's just my preference, but I feel that for the cyclocross races, for the winter cycling sport, this system might be the best even. The other thing here is the one by Drivetrain, which makes sense for the cyclocross bike. No front derailleur, no mud around front derailleur here. And also on the cyclocross, you either go from turn to turn, or you just walk up the stairs, you run up the stairs. There is always acceleration, braking, acceleration, braking, acceleration, braking. One by Drivetrain is great for that. It does the job. And also the SRAM system is almost perfect in shifting. I do love the shifting of this bike. We've got 40 teeth here at the front, 11 by 42 at the rear. It's enough for riding up the hills, because if it's super steep, you're gonna be running with the bike anyways. So that's cool. I like the derailleur. It's not it's not the new design like the Eagle has. So there is not that big pulleys on the derailleur and so, but it works perfectly. I love it. It's quad mud proof here. And as for the frame, the chainstays here are shaped in the way that won't hold mud around here, which is very important for cyclocross. So SRAM Apex is first. The double tap system is great, and also the shifter is great. So guys, I do like it. One by Drivetrain makes... I would never use one by Drivetrain on a road bike, never. Even on the gravel bike, I do prefer 2 by drivetrain. For cyclocross, 1 by drivetrain. That's my opinion. In addition to that, we've got the hydraulic brakes, which are powerful enough, which are strong. I've been testing Ultegra disc brakes lately on the Rose bike, and these were the best road cyclocross brakes I ever used. But these ones are just powerful enough. You can ride on the hoods like you have to during cyclocross race, and you can generate enough braking power. This will be just enough. As for the frame itself, it's got very nicely made welds. It's cool. This is well shaped for holding your bike when you're running with it. UCI legal. This is Mission CX. So I have to tell you, I'm liking the bike. It's okay. When would I buy this bike? I would buy cyclocross bike if I was racing cyclocross bike mainly. I'm racing cross country mainly. Cyclocross is just addition. Like I did it for fun today, so I would not buy a cyclocross bike. And also, cyclocross bike is no longer a best commuter because now we have gravel bikes. But still, if you buy kind of entry-level cyclocross bike, it will still be made also for carrying some load. You can have it with the racks, with the fenders, so you can mount these on the bike. But Silex, in my opinion, would be much better all-rounder. Quite fast on the road, great for traveling, for bike packing. Remember, this is always the geometry. It's always got the geometry which is made for racing. So that's important. If cyclocross is very important for you, buy cyclocross bike. If you like racing cyclocross, but you want to use the bike also during the summer for trainings and for some traveling, entry-level one will be okay. This Mission CX can take some loads, it can be used for bike packing. I would personally like to have, just as I have, a mountain bike, a road bike and a gravel bike. Cyclocross, I did it just for testing. I don't fully get the cyclocross tradition. It's lovely, it's nice to have tradition, so I'm not arguing with it. But as for the bike itself, for the cyclocross, cool bike. I haven't found any failures like cable rattling inside, because we've got the routing inside the frame. Those insert Merida have made very well. This is really good job. There's no rattling. You have additional bolt there, screw, which will hold the housing very well. So this is good bike. You've got the clearance for the mud. That's no problem. The bike is pretty light, stiff, cool. Well, not for me, but it's a good bike for cyclocross. That's my opinion. Tell me, do you ride gravel bikes or cyclocross bikes? What do you think about those? And that's for this episode. See you guys.
Jeszcze jedno?